Ma'am, we need your eyes on this right now. I hadn't even had my second cup of coffee when the junior associate rushed into my office. He looked panicked and shoved a printout into my hands. It was a confidential memo. Preliminary divestiture planning. And the worst part, someone had accidentally BCC'd the entire and a partner list. If even one of them forwarded it externally, we'd have a full press leak before lunch. I stayed calm. Recall the email. Scrub internal and external servers. Pull the recipient list and audit who opened it, I said. Check if anything triggered non-compete alerts. This wasn't new for me. I was the fixer. The person called when everything was already on fire. 8 years in, I built systems to quietly erase disasters before the board even noticed. By mid-morning, the leak was contained. Logs were cleaned. Internal comms were patched with a safe cover story. No one outside legal even knew anything had happened. Then I checked my calendar. My weekly meeting with the CEO gone, not rescheduled, deleted. Then I checked again. My name had been removed from upcoming meetings entirely. Next, system access. My admin permissions had been quietly downgraded. That's when I understood what was happening. This wasn't a mistake. It was a setup. The slow, quiet removal, the kind people don't see until their badge stops working. Still, I didn't react. I just left early. That evening, I accessed an old encrypted archive. Files from years ago. Agreements, clauses, backup structures no one ever reads after signing. One file stood out. Trigger events, clause 14.6, and I smiled because I remembered why I built it. The next day, HR called me in, 2 chairs, one HR director, and Brandon, the CEO's son-in-law, sat like he owned the room. Your position has been dissolved effective immediately, he said. HR slid a severance packet across the table. I didn't argue. I understand, I said. Then I signed. But I didn't sign everything. Just the acknowledgement page. Because years ago, I had built something into the system. A signature verification framework tied to high-level exits. And the pen I used. It mattered a lot. I left without a scene. No shouting. No panic. Just calm. But once I got home, I opened the archive again. Clause 14.6 was active under specific conditions. If I was terminated retroactively due to executive family restructuring, if the termination was initiated by someone like Brandon, and if it was properly documented, then control of the equity trust would transfer. Fully. Irrevocably. And all conditions had just been met. By the next morning, I had already contacted a notary, then my lawyer. Then I verified every signature, every timestamp. Every document. Everything was clean. Everything was valid. Everything was ready. On Friday, I walked into the board meeting. No one stopped me. Brandon was mid-presentation when I entered. He smiled like nothing had happened. I took my seat and waited. At exactly 1 p.m., my phone vibrated. The activation went out. Quiet, automatic, irreversible. A legal packet opened on the boardroom screen. Clause 14.6. See. My termination. The trigger. The proof. The signatures. The CEO froze. This can't be real, Brandon said. But legal already. New it is, they said. You signed it 6 years ago. Page after page confirmed it. Then came the final line. Ownership transfer complete. Silence took the room because they finally understood. They hadn't just fired me, they had activated everything I built. Minutes later, systems updated, equity shifted, control changed hands. My name appeared where there's used to be 72% ownership. All rooted through the trust I designed. The board looked at me like I had rewritten reality. I hadn't. I had just written better contracts. The CEO tried to undo it. Legal told him he couldn't. Brandon tried to speak. No one listened because there was nothing left to argue. It was already done. I stood up, placed my old badge on the table, and pushed it forward. Then I looked at them. You fired me, I said calmly. That's all it took. And I left no drama, no noise, just the end of their control and the beginning of mine.